and Nyawi, the stubborn bride, the strange bride, the overambitious bride, the overzealous bride, does this exact same thing that the gods have said they should not do. Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Uche. If this is your first time on this channel, welcome. Please click on the subscribe button below so you get notified whenever I post a new video. And know that on this channel, what we do here is to read African literature or black fiction, and we review them on this channel. And if you're a returning viewer, how is it going? How is your reading life going? Let me know what it's been like, and also let me know the current books that you're reading. If you have a special request on books that you want me to read, please let me know in the comment section below. I'll look for the books, read them, and come on here to review. In this video, I'll be reviewing the book The Strange Bride by Kenyan author Grace Ogot. So this book is a classic. It's an African classic. It was first published in 1983 as Miaha. I really hope to God that I got that name correctly. So this book was originally written in Dolo language, but in 1989 it was translated to English by Ogot Okombo. This book is a myth that is coming out from the people of Luo. Luo itself is a dialect that is spoken by Luo people, and they are majorly found in Kenya and in Tanzania as well. So this book is just the perfect retelling of the fall of man. So if you're a Christian, or if you know of the story of Adam and Eve, you'd know that the fall of man started when both Adam and Eve ate the fruit from the forbidden tree, and they were ousted from the Garden of Eden. God cursed them that they were going to suffer, and Eve was going to experience pain when it was time to give birth, and man, or Adam himself, was going to have to struggle to get something that they will eat. So even from the cover of the book, you see a man and a woman with this fallen look, as if they are leaving a particular place. And this casts my mind back to this book I used to have as a child, my book of Bible stories. And when the fall of man was being talked about, there's this picture as well of Adam and Eve when they were being sent out of the Garden of Eden by an angel. Or by that aside, this book tells the story of, I would say, of an idyllic life of the Got or Waga people and their beliefs. So in this particular village, when it's time for cultivation or for them to harvest, they do not do farm work. The agreement that they had with the god that they served at that time was that there's this particular family, let's say like is the first family of that particular village, or let's say is like a king or the traditional ruler of that village. So his family has the responsibility of being the custodian of a particular home. So when it's time for the people of Got or Waga to cultivate or to harvest, the wife of the traditional ruler usually takes this hoe to a particular place and leaves it there. This kind of ritual, she goes and she doesn't look back. It just happens that the gods that they serve then, they just need this hoe to do the work for them. So the people, they don't do the work, they don't know anything that is called cultivation, harvesting. Once the woman drops the hoe there, after a while they come back and their harvest is ready and they can take everything that they want. So they were actually living a simple life, a very easy life. This book also tells the story of a particular couple that have been childless for years. They've been unfortunate when it comes to having children. So they eventually have this beautiful daughter, and she goes missing one day, and all efforts to look for this child proved futile. But years later, this strange girl comes back to the village, and it just happens that this girl is the long lost daughter, and she's very beautiful, she's glamorous, she comes with a different way of doing things with the hairstyle. She's very glamorous, so the things that she does is not something that the people of this Gotowaga village would normally do. Soon she catches the eyes of the second son of the traditional ruler, and is known as Owini. So this particular daughter, or this particular girl in question, she is known as Nyawi. Owini goes for her hand, and soon they are married. So they become a couple. Looking at this book entirely, I would say she's actually the one that is being referred to as the strange bride, because the things that she does, things about her, is actually different, and she's quite ambitious. So it just happens that where I would say there was a twist to the story, or the climax to the story, was when this particular harvest, the wife of the traditional ruler was supposed to go and drop the hoe at a particular farmland, and this daughter-in-law of hers, that's Inyawi, insisted so much that she was the one that was going to go and drop the hoe, and it's not supposed to be so. At this point, I'm even wondering why the mother-in-law allowed her, but this daughter-in-law seemed so menacing, so stubborn, and she was adamant about depositing the hoe in the particular farmland. So eventually the mother-in-law caved in, and this daughter-in-law, despite the instructions that she has been given, that once she drops the hoe, that she should not try to use the hoe to cultivate the land or to dig into the land, that she should just drop the hoe and do a bit of actions and just go straight without turning back. Inyawi actually goes to the farmland. She does this, but out of curiosity, she decides to dig the soil, and this was where all hell let loose. So because of this disobedience, the god of the land turned his back on the people of Got Owaga, so they were in trouble, and because of this, they had to banish this Inyawi, this strange bride that is very stubborn, from the village. But her husband wouldn't let her go alone, so he decided to go with her. At this point, we will see the book cover where both of them, they are living together with this sad look on their face. So it was at this point that the both of them were banished from the village for them to go somewhere else. I would say there are different parts to the story. So from the progression of the story, we see that eventually Owini gets lost in the forest, and he finds himself in another kind of civilization where the people in this area, they do things different from what is available in Got Owaga. I think at this point, when Inyawi, as a little girl, when she got lost, I think it was this different civilization that she went to before she finally came back. So here Owini sees a different way of doing things. He sees that the people here, they are fishermen, they ask him questions, seeing that he's a stranger, he does things differently. So by going to another civilization, he gets knowledge of the things that they do, and when he eventually returns to Got Owaga, he implemented it there. They gave him cattle, so there was non cattle rearing, because normally what the people of Got Owaga do is just they deal with sorghum and millet. To cut the long story short, I would say the eventuality of this story just tells us of how the people of a particular village, that is Got Owaga, how they transcended into a different kind of civilization, how they went from being pampered or helped by the gods of the land to how they began to do things by themselves, just as we know it in the story of Adam and Eve. That I said, I'll say the narration of this story, it's a bit bland when you're comparing it to this present age and time, but given when it was published, 1983, I would say that the book is actually well written. This book is not an easy one to read. Number one, because of the font size. The font size is actually very small. I would say that the story contained in this book is engaging enough to make you want to turn to the next page just to see what happens, but there's no dramatic turn of events. I'll just say it's just an easy story. It just progresses normally. So if you're expecting to see a huge drama or to see a very sharp turn of events or twist of events, it is not so. It's just a normal story. That's why I mentioned that it is engaging enough. So the key word is it's engaging enough. I do not know if you really enjoy this story. I'll just say that the story is there, it's cool, it's okay. If you're looking for something simple without a convolution of plots, then this is actually the book you should read, given the year of publication and the time that it was written. I discovered that the author is no longer alive. She died in 2015. May God rest her soul. This book is actually didactic. Like it has its own lessons to teach, just as how the story of Adam and Eve has its own lessons. So there's this thing of disobedience. So the gods of the land have stated that, okay, this is what you shouldn't do. Do not try to dig the ground when you deposit the hoe in this particular place. And Nyawi, the stubborn bride, the strange bride, the overambitious bride, the overzealous bride, does this exact same thing that the gods have said they should not do, even ignoring her mother-in-law's warning. and also the love that Owini has for his wife Nyawi, despite how stubborn she is, despite how evil it seems she is, given the fact that Nyawi has done this huge abomination. Owini still decides to be with her and to even experience banishment, the embarrassment, the disgrace, just because of the love that he has for her. And we just see loyalty on his side, the loyalty that he portrays in standing by his wife despite all odds. That's just all I have to say about this book. The book is actually a good book, simple to read, and that's just it. Thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this review, and let me know in the comment section if you will be reading this. So this is coming out straight from Kenya, and I think this should be about the first book by a Kenyan author that I'll be reviewing on this channel. So a round of applause for that. Thank you so much for watching. Do well to like this video, share this video with your friends, leave your thoughts in the comment section below, and subscribe as well. So I'll be seeing you in my very next video. Bye guys. Mwah!